Hey, Scott Luton, Supply Chain Now here in beautiful St. Louis, continuing our coverage of the 41st Annual AME International Conference. And I'm joined by the one and only, drum roll please, Billy Ray Taylor. Billy Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Scott. It's amazing. I'm having a great time here at this year's conference. Unbelievable.
Well, you know, I had to go through his agent and maybe his agent's agent just to connect with him here. But Billy Ray has been doing some big things in the industry, which we're going to touch on in just a second. But the level set too, Billy Ray Taylor is president and CEO of LinkedXL, and he's also AME chairman of the board. I think
Yes,
I've got that right.
I am the chairman this year.
Okay.
So that's another chapter, and I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Before we talk about AME and manufacturing and leadership, you got out into the city
Yes.
here in St. Louis
Yes.
because you've got a hobby that is new to me. And tell us about it.
So cigars. I love cigars and to go to see different brands and different spaces. So I got into the downtown.
Okay.
And went and found Stanley's.
Stanley's.
It's a local cigar place that's
Selection like never, no one else.
unbelievable.
All right, so one last question. What is, like, I'm not sure what to ask. What style, where does it come from? What's like your favorite cigar? One of them at least.
I really like a Cuban.
Okay, don't we all?
Monte Cristo too is my go-to. But now I'm getting to the flavor thing. So, you know, I sit down with my wife sometimes and I have a grape like flavor.
Interesting. I got a lot to learn about the cigar industry. Okay. Well, Billy Ray Taylor, always teaching us new things, and it's great to connect with you here in person after we've done so much in person and so much remotely. All right, so LinkedXL, you're off to the races. Tell us about what the organization's doing.
So what we're doing, we actually are operating system architects. We're getting away from telling you to be Toyota. We're saying be yourself. Take elements of that and then architect your own system. But what we've created now is called LinkedXL OS.
Okay.
It's the software that gives you an MRI of your business.
Oh, I like that. So you know exactly where maybe the pains and the opportunities are. Huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when we go through it, it says, oh, now I've got a problem in my leg, or I've got a problem with safety. It tells you what's wrong in safety.
That's outstanding. All right, so let's shift gears to the conference here. We're going to come back to leadership in just a minute. I know we're in day 2, I think, of the international conference, but I bet maybe you've already keynoted, and I bet you've got lots of eureka moments.
I've got some great eureka moments, but it's outside of me speaking. What I've really found is there's a new generation of people seeking operational excellence and a heavy demographic of next generation leaders walking around and seeing the benefit of operational excellence.
Yes.
And having a son in that field, that demographic, right? And so for me, I've been around a while. So picture me like doing lean on an 8-track tape or cassette, right? Those times have passed. We're doing lean through streaming, baby. We're going streaming lean now.
I love it. I love it. And by the way, you know, I updated my lexicon to move from the next generation to the now generation because what I have found is these incredibly bright people that may be new to industry or they're still coming in the industry, maybe matriculating through colleges, they're already making their impact. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're more educated, and I'm not going to call me old, I'm just going to call me legacy.
Right. Okay. That's right. It's
good. And so are you open enough to be mentored and coached by the new generation? A new way of doing things.
Yeah.
And so that's the new part of what I'm seeing here at the conference. It's a mix of I learn from you, you learn from me. And now we're sharing, learning, and growing together.
Yeah. It's like you got New York Stock Exchange and you got the AME
That's
Market Value Exchange or something.
That's right.
Okay. So Billy Ray, going back to the MRI you mentioned earlier, you know, you and I have done a lot of these shows together.
Yes, we have.
You help a lot of companies improve in a variety of different ways and grow, but a lot of that focuses on vision and strategy and how they, and of course, how they can operationalize all of that. What's a couple of key best practices there? I know it's a big loaded question. What's a couple that come to your mind?
No, when you think about it, before you go in there and learn or transfer anything, you have to be deliberately clear on the why you're doing it.
Right.
And then when you get into how, the next thing is, right, who owns what? Because you can't do it on your own. Scott, you're great at what you do. One of the best I've seen. That's why when you call me and I tell you, Scott, you got me at hello, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, now, why?
Yeah.
I trust you. Why? You've never led me the wrong way. And you've been very clear what we're doing. When I showed up today, you said, Billy, here's what we're doing. You define winning. When people build strategies, they don't define winning. And most companies don't fail because of strategy. They fail because they don't know how to execute.
It's a big gap. It's a big gap. And we need leaders to bridge that gap. We need technology to bridge that gap.
Yes.
And really, and a lot more. But you're filling that gap out in the industry, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So here is a I'm not gonna call it a debatable question, but in some circles it may be debatable. My view is that lean thinking has been beat up a bit since the pandemic. I mean, over time at different points, but certainly since the pandemic. I would argue that it's as relevant and as important today as ever before. Your thoughts are?
So I'm going to go with the first part of that. Has it been beaten up?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a reason why, right? There's a mindset to what lean is, eliminating jobs,
Right.
cutting. What I'm going to tell you is it's still relevant. I'm going to say it in a statement. Do you want to get better? Do you want to improve? That's what lean is.
Yeah.
It's about being the most effective and the most efficient. And how do I get there? That's what makes lean relevant again. And most companies, they jump into tools. Let's do Kaizen events. Let's do, right? When tools lead, failure follows.
When tools lead, failure follows. Oh, that's good.
And so,
You got to go back to the why.
absolutely, the why. And then put the processes to how you're going to win, right?
Yeah.
If you think about if I ask you to go inside your mind, Scott, and say, who's the best coach in sports? What do you think? Give me a couple of them. College sports. Who's the best coach?
Nick Saban, as painful as it is to my Clemson Tigers, Nick Saban's one of the best ever.
You know why?
You may know a better answer, but systemization, I think.
System standards.
Yeah, standards.
He clearly defines what your role is in his team. And if you don't meet that standard, you don't play for Nick Saban.
Right.
That's lean.
I like
That's
it.
operational excellence.
Man, I love that. And then one other football analogy, since we're talking football, one of my favorites from our past interviews together is you were talking about your upbringing and your mother
Yes.
played a critical role. And I think you came home, you were playing football back then, and you were came with some bad grades, I think, for a semester. And I think she said it was going to be NFL, which meant
Not for long will you be playing if you don't meet the standard, right? And so that's the essence of it.
yeah, I like
Set
that.
those standards and be clear what they are.
You got to. Okay, so let's broaden things out a little bit. When you think of the culture of continuous improvement, one of the big themes of probably any AIM event, or
Yes.
Association for Manufacturing Excellence, is continuous improvement, right?
Yes.
No matter where you get that from, lean or other methodologies or thinking. What is a critical aspect or two to building a true culture of continuous improvement?
Right. So I always say it's three elements of it. One, deliberate clarity. Before you can start out on the lean journey, be very clear on what it is and what you expect.
Yep.
Two, deliberate ownership. It's not just about you, it's who owns what into this vision and how we're going to win.
Yep.
And the last part is that deliberate execution, that deliberate practice. Every day you have a show, you have meetings. That's deliberate practice. You get it right? And so what I find is if one of those three elements are missing, your culture is going to crack. And I'm going to give it to you like this. I'm going to common sense it. Think of an egg, and you're talking about change. When the egg is cracked from the inside,
Right.
life begins. But when the egg is cracked from the outside, life ends. We're eating that egg for breakfast. And that's what happens with you and your culture.
Oh, I love it. The first of those three, the clarity piece,
Yes.
especially in times of complexity and lots of change like we're going through now, where business velocity is at 150 miles an hour, and it seems like tomorrow it's going to be 175 miles an hour. Clarity is one of those simplifying forces that's so critical, no matter how big or small your team is, how big or small the challenge or the initiative or the venture is. Clarity is really a beautiful, underestimated superpower, huh?
Yes. Clarity is it. If you're a parent, if you're a spouse, I often tell leaders that I work with, you have a no culture. But let me break that down to you. It's one good and it's one's bad. If you have an NO culture, people don't know, right? You're constantly saying no versus a KNOW.
Right.
So that clarity, you have to let people know what's your standard, and think about, they also need to know what winning is.
Yeah.
Right? If you go to a football game, we sit down, what is the first thing we look at? The scoreboard.
Yep.
We want to know who's winning. And so that's key.
And simple. Like when we sit down at, my father-in-law, Fred McKiff, is the world's biggest Alabama Crimson Tide fan. And there, for a stretch there, Alabama was giving it to my Clemson Tigers. It was tough. But when you sit down for a football game and you want to look at the score, it's a quick glance and you know instantly you're winning or losing. And we need to, I would argue by extension, our people need to be able to make that same simple indication of our winning or losing, not billboards and billboards of hundreds of metrics, right?
100%. 100%. There's only a few things on that scoreboard. And you nailed it. When I said 10 seconds or less, when I see the scoreboard, I know if I'm winning, and it's tied to my emotions.
Yeah.
I want to know if I'm winning or losing. And I'll tell you, that's a call for action.
Yeah.
That's a call for action.
So not only are you a incredibly successful entrepreneur and published author, which I got you to sign finally, a copy of your book, which I'm excited about, but also all this is built on you being there and having done it. You know, leading for one of the most successful tire companies in the world, leading their North America manufacturing footprint, right?
Yes.
Turning plants around.
Yes.
Helping people achieve the best, the best in themselves, right?
Absolutely.
And now you're sharing this with all the other organizations out there.
Yes. And you and I have talked quite a bit, and we talk about my mother, and she would always say, make people visible and they'll make you valuable. Don't just make yourself visible. So leaders think it's all about them. It's not.
Never.
And you're talking about having an experience. Again, one of the things my mother would tell my brothers and I, you can't lead where you won't go.
That is $1 million advice. $1 million advice, especially for us fellow servant leaders out there. You got to be able to be willing to wash the dishes, go wherever it means, and do the things that you want to coach and mentor people up. Billy Ray, I could spend hours with you. I feel like I'm leaving with another master class. Let's see. How can folks, between LinkedXL, between the book, between all your keynotes you do around the globe, and a whole bunch more, how can folks track you down?
So I'm trying to grow. So I'm going to give you two options now.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the LinkedIn, right? That's for the business, the legacy people. You can find me on my LinkedIn channel, or you can find me on Instagram at Billy Ray Taylor.
Okay.
And so that's for those short snippets.
I love it. I love the short snippets. I love the long discussions and all points in between. But folks, Billy Ray Taylor, President CEO with LinkedXL and Chairman of the Board here for AME. And of course, you can learn more about AME at ame.org. But whatever you do, make sure you connect and follow with Billy Ray. Billy Ray, thanks for being here.
Thank you. And follow Supply Chain Now. This
That's
is
right.
my guy. This is my guy.
Hey, that's high praise.
Yes. Thank you.
Folks, stick around as we keep continuing our coverage of the 41st Annual AME International Conference right here in St. Louis as we interview movers and shakers like none other than Billy Ray Taylor.